Okay, folks, today we're going to learn how to use Gaussian elimination. Now we're going to have two equations. We're going to have we're going to have 3x1 minus x2, and that's going to be equal to 2. Secondly, we will have x1 plus 2x2, that's equaling 10. Now we're going to write it down as though it were a set of matrices. And we'll begin by doing this here. We're going to write down 3, -1, and 2. And underneath that, 1, 2, 10. Our first step will be to switch rows. We're going to switch rows 1 and 2. So now we have 1, 2, 10 on top. On the bottom we have 3, -1, and 2. Now I'm going to take row 1 and I'm going to multiply it by -3 and add it to row 2, replacing row 2. It's important to note that row 1 will not be affected. However, row 2 will become quite changed. So -3 times 1 is -3, and when I add that to the +3, I get 0. 2 times -3 is -6. When I add -6 to -1, I get -7. And now 10 times -3 is -30 plus 2, -28. Next, I'm going to take row 2 and I'm going to multiply it by 1 over -7. Oops. Again, that's times row 2. Row 1, unaffected. Row 2 becomes 0, 1, 4. Now, I have a pivot in row 2 right here. I also have a pivot in row 1 here, but the 2 has to go. So it looks like if we take row 2 and we multiply it, it's row 2, and we multiply it by -2 and add it to row 1, we may get out of this thing. So 0 times -2 is 0, plus 1 is 1. 1 times -2 is -2, plus 2 is 0. 4 times -2 is -8, plus 10 is 2. Our second row was not affected, so it continues to be 0, 1, and 4. Since we have pivots where we're supposed to have here and here, our answers are now solved as x1 equals 2, x2 equals 4. Thank you. That is all.